It's an industry that I love. I'm very passionate about it. I really, and I'm someone that likes to have young people involved and positive people, those that get out and fly the flag for our industry. A lot of young trainers that are out there doing so well, young drivers and people that are just passionate about it and looking at, and quite open to new ideas. Try something new. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but at least you've tried. And you know, to move the breeding industry forward as well. I love the science of the breeding industry, going back through the pedigrees and then looking at something new. And our industry has changed so much, well, just since I've been heavily involved, probably in the last 20 years. The style of horse has changed, where now we're a finer breed of horse, because we're breeding for speed. So of course the training techniques have to change then. It's not the heavy duty horse anymore, we're a sharper horse. And with that too, we're getting a hotter temperament as well. So it's yeah, big changes and good changes.
Well, we owned several stallions that were leased out around here. So then we decided, oh well, we'll start up and just do it small. And I think we bought 2 stallions, and then it gradually crept up till we had 3 here. And then our broodmare band sort of went from 20 to 120. So we were back where we started from.
My earliest recollections in Queensland were obviously with Mum and Dad, and just every day there was a horse involved somewhere, whether it was my pony that I had or the brood mares or whatever was happening like that. There was always horses somewhere around. We also had a big cattle feedlot, 1,000 head feedlot as well, so it was all like animal related. When I was going to school, I can remember coming home from school and Mum and Dad, you know, like they'd be big days in the yards that would start, because we used to have 7 stallions and 600 mares and crazy times. I think there used to be 12 on the staff and things like that. So I'd come home, and only horse people will understand this, and I'd go over to the yards, and if there were some drag marks, you'd know it had been a bad day. But anyway, that's another story. But no, it just becomes ingrained into you, I think. And I left Queensland when I was 21. I went to work in Brisbane for a while, radio station, and then in some saddlery stores. Did a stint in real estate as well. So I was very lucky. I did my first season after I left school, and it was just like, yeah, this is okay, but I'm not sure whether it's really for me. And it was a good experience to go off and work for another employer that wasn't your dad, wasn't your mum. You know, you had that bit of separation as well. So it was really good. And then I was living in Brisbane at the time, and we'd sold our property, Success Stud at Oakey. We'd been there for 22 years, I guess. And Mum and Dad had a lot of stallions leased down around into the Riverina area. And they used to come down every couple of months during the stud season and help them get their fertility rates up a little bit higher and just help them. So I was living in Brisbane, and you know, just things, I was a bit homesick and a bit over the city life, and I spoke to Dad one day on the phone. He goes, righto, you better come home, Jack, and get these yearlings ready to go to sale. So that's what happened. I lobbed down here. Mum and Dad were perched up here on 50 acres. I think they had 1 stallion at that stage, 27 mares, and yeah, just got rolling from there.
Well, really quite early, I think, because when we were in Queensland, she did 1 full season with us after she left school, and then at the end of that she said, no, she said, I want an air-conditioned office and a white uniform. John and I both looked at one another. We said, well, you're not going to get that here. So she went and worked for a radio station in Toowoomba. And then, probably 12 months. And then she came home and got very interested in the breeding. And then when we came down here, she moved down too and got a little bit keener, so kept going. I think we ran out of territory in Queensland. There weren't as many people breeding horses, and we had a lot of stallions we'd imported. We'd leased to different properties down here. So we came down and looked around the Riverina, and that's where the big volume of brood mares were. So we drove around for 2 or 3 weeks to find a property, and we just drove past the front gate here and it had a for sale sign on it. So we thought, well, that will suit us. You know, only 50 acres, nice and small, we won't stand any stallions, and just breed the odd mare, semi-retiring.
As we speak today, we have access to just over 300 acres with some lease country as well. From the original little 50 acres, which we've got the yearling stable set up, the house and cottage, silos and the work yards, our vet areas. And then we purchased 100 acres next door, and we had leased another 100 acres down on the creek flats. And then last year, 3 years ago now, time gets away, we brought 40 acres across the road with another house and some stables and yards over there. And that's where we have our spelling horses and our young stock yearling, weanling fillies and so on before they come back across to the big property. At the moment, we probably carry about 60 permanent mares. Some of those people have been with us since we started here at Success, or got Success New South Wales going. So that's over 20 years, and it's interesting because some of those mares have fillies now back here on farm, and so you start to wonder, gosh, have I been hanging around for just a bit too long now? Very fortunate to have my mentor being 2 people, my dad, John Gibson, and my mum, Mary. Without them, Success would never have risen. My dad was a really good horseman, attention to detail, which my mum, Mary, is still exactly the same as that today. I don't get away with skipping any corners at all, let me tell you. So my dad imported a lot of stallions from the States. I think the last count up we did was 73 or something like that, different stallions. And he helped a lot of people in a lot of different ways, not only through the horse industry. He's instilled in me a work ethic, attention to detail, the love of horses as well. He was very passionate about it, very passionate about helping people, young people as well. He loved to help a young person. If someone came and asked him some questions, some breeding questions, something like that, he would always give them the time of day. He loved a joke, he loved a good time, and he was a really wicked sense of humour, I think I could say. But totally everything that is here today is because of John and Mary Gibson. Greg, I have a 5-year plan every day, I think, and it keeps changing sometimes. No, I want to keep breeding, maybe not to the extent and the numbers that we have now. I'd like to just keep improving it, and Success is no doubt we're here to stay, and we'll keep going, and just maybe not in such bigger numbers, more keeping with the quality and so on, and just keep while we enjoy it, we'll keep going for sure. You know, and every morning we wake up and you come out and you see those beautiful foals in the paddock, and you see the healthy horses, and it's and the season that we've had this year, it's amazing. So when you love it, and hopefully I'd like to think that we're pretty good at it, you keep going.